Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. A winter storm hitting the southern tier, leaving inches of snow blanketing the area. Here's a look at Corning earlier today. The snow coming down and covering downtown. Corning Painted Post School District, as well as surrounding school districts, closed for the day, and road conditions were affected throughout the day. Let's go straight to meteorologist Alyssa Triplett with a look at how much snow fell and how long it will stick around. Alyssa?
Well, good evening. And as we did quickly wake up this morning with those snow-covered roads, we were able to keep under that cooler air for a few hours, allowing for snowfall reports to get anywhere from at least an inch upwards of even 4 inches. And then we saw that transition to bring us to some rainfall as we stepped into the late afternoon through the early evening. And we'll continue to talk about some times of mixed precipitation and even bring us back to some snow showers as we head into Thursday morning. But I'll time this all out in your full forecast coming up here shortly.
Thanks, Alyssa. And Big Fox went out earlier today and spoke to those who were trying to shovel their way out of the snow.
Yeah, just trying to help neighbors, and I don't got a vehicle, so it's nice to walk on clear sidewalks.
Well, being retired, the weather is nice. I just bought the snow blower this year, so I enjoy using it. Probably go over and do some of the neighbors.
Well, it's the second time I've done this today. But what are you going to do? We have no control over the weather. So.
Tonight, we are following up with local exterminator Eric Flynn about a financial dispute that his business was facing. Our Maggie Hall tells us how Flynn was able to turn this dispute into something good using the power of social media and the community.
When a local hotel went months without paying CNY Extermination for their services, owner and operator Eric Flynn took to social media. His post blew up, reaching across the nation and around the world.
And when I woke up in the morning at 6, it was over 1,000 shares that it had. So it kind of spread like wildfire.
Big Fox News spoke to Eric last Friday. Since then, the situation has changed.
The hotel actually did come through, and their corporate office mailed us payment, which we honestly weren't expecting. I believe that not only the social media outreach got the ball rolling on that, but possibly the news coverage as well.
The family-owned and operated extermination company used the payment from the hotel to give back to the community that supported them.
So what we decided to do is we applied that to the cost of exterminations, and we were able to do 4 exterminations for some families that had reached out to us that did not have means to pay for an extermination themselves.
This story showcases the power of social media and the power of a community coming together. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Elmira.
The Chemung County Sheriff's Office has released an update into a stabbing in Big Flats. Police have identified the victim as 29-year-old Joseph Hartford. Theodore Swan, pictured here, has been charged with the attempted murder in the 2nd degree of Hartford. Hartford is stable but remains hospitalized at this time. A wood stove fire is the cause of a thrift store partially collapsing in Savona today. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg was at Hillview Acres Market earlier today.
The Savona Fire Department responded to calls of a fire at Hillview Acres Market in Savona yesterday afternoon. The fire caused major damage to one of the market's structures as well as some nearby vehicles. According to the Hillview Acres Market Facebook page, a witness saw the fire starting in the property's wood stove while they were trying to rescue their dogs. Another post on the page stated a living space as well as a garage were also destroyed in the fire. A number of pets and personal possessions were lost as well. The farm and flea market began on Route 226 back in July of 2022. Hillview sold everything from furniture and clothing to live animals. Hillview had recently partnered with U-Haul to become a dealer for trucks, towing equipment, moving supplies, and in-store box pickup for Savona. Other details on the fire are still limited, but Big Fox will continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Savona.
The state government has announced that all New Yorkers enrolled in SNAP will receive the maximum amount of benefits for January. All households participating in the program will receive supplemental benefits to their accounts in addition to their already existing funds. For more info, you can visit the state's benefit website. America has seen more than 36 mass shootings this year, less than a month into 2023. With the rash of gun violence, some lawmakers are talking about gun control measures. But can a divided Congress really get anything done, and will the laws make a difference? Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
This is the first step in healing.
Monterey Park is gathering together once again, days after a Lunar New Year celebration. But this time they're here to remember the 11 people who died in a mass shooting at a ballroom dance studio on Saturday.
We come together, like tonight, to remember, to honor, to commemorate.
Just a few hundred miles up the state of California, another community, Half Moon Bay, is reeling after 7 were killed in another mass shooting on Monday, prompting Governor Gavin Newsom to point blame.
Federal government needs to do its job.
Last year, President Biden signed what had been hailed as the most comprehensive gun bill in about 3 decades. The bipartisan legislation boosts funding for mental health resources and aims to prevent dangerous people from accessing guns. But the chances of a divided Congress coming together to push more gun measures forward is slim.
California has the strictest gun laws there are, and apparently that did not work in this situation too.
Democrats say the problem goes beyond state borders.
Weapons cross state lines. So until we have a federal law banning these mass murder assault weapons, the state laws are, of limited efficacy.
At the nation's capital, another fight is brewing over the city's response to guns and overall crime. Some are criticizing D.C.'s recent criminal code reform, which drops maximum sentences for carjacking and gun possession. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
The Senate is preparing legislation for a nationwide TikTok ban. Congress has already prohibited TikTok on all government devices. Now, Republican Senator Josh Hawley wants to take it one step further. He's introducing the bill banning the Chinese company-owned app. In a tweet on Tuesday, Hawley said China is invading Americans' lives, adding, quote, "It threatens our children's privacy as well as their mental health." TikTok has faced major criticism recently over national security concerns and the ability to manipulate content. Netflix plans to end free password sharing by the end of March. The streaming service says it will charge users for sharing their password, but didn't release a specific date or information on how the policy will work. Netflix says widespread account sharing in more than 100 million households undermines its ability to invest and improve the service. Meteorologist Alyssa Triplett is back with our complete forecast next. Plus, a look at alarming numbers involving fentanyl use and deaths among children. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
A strong low-pressure system pushed its way into the region early this morning, bringing a snowfall at onset and seeing that snowfall even across the state was in place. And then we did see that transition over to rain showers where we were working our way into a little bit of a warmer and drier pocket. So through the overnight, we're still within that pocket, keeping us under some spotty rain showers and some mild temperatures. Now, as the low continues to strengthen with a coastal low-pressure system and work its way off to the north, it is going to work us back into more of a westerly flow, which pulls those temperatures back towards freezing as we head into early Thursday. And we'll see that temperatures throughout Thursday will stay pretty steady just around that freezing mark, which will allow for some spotty snow showers to develop. Now, it is going to be very isolated, especially for the local Elmira Corning area, as we'll see that the more of the development will be closer to our lake regions, where the winds over those lakes will continue to induce some of that lake-enhanced snowfall. So again, pretty minimal accumulation, but we'll mention mentioned maybe a few tenths of an inch even locally possible, especially as the winds are going to be strong, and that's what's inducing some of those snow showers to develop, but also just going to bring a blustery and chilly day overall, with temperatures staying steady, as mentioned, into those lower 30s. But we will be entering into a little bit more quiet forecast here into the weekend. Now, still some breeze to factor in, as there will be some stronger systems sweeping on through, but the local effects look to be pretty minimal. We'll watch a few chances, especially by Saturday into Sunday, for maybe some areas of some rain to snow showers, but overall we'll be in this more mild pocket, which could mean rain showers for the local area. Now, next week we'll see that we will trend to see some slightly cooler temperatures, as well as some hit or miss chances. Again, it's not looking strong for the local area, but there will be systems moving on through that will give us at least some chances. So looking at the morning hours here, we have still, again, some warmer air at pockets, especially off towards the northeast, but we'll note that the wind that is going to continue to turn over these lakes will continue to induce those showers. So again, a few work their way through the Finger Lakes area, but you see most of that zone is well off to the west, and then as well as off to the north there. So we'll watch the chances for those to stay in place, and then by Friday could work in some areas of some sunshine. So we'll look at the wind potential, though, to be strengthening. You can see that wind turning from the south and then turning more of a westerly wind, allowing for that lake enhanced snowfall to be in place. But with wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour, it's pretty blustery, and that's going to create that chill into the air, maybe create some difficult travels region wide. We are within at least a gust up to 25 to 35 miles per hour, definitely more powerful the closer to those lake regions that you get. Now, as mentioned, steady temperatures throughout Thursday. We'll head into Friday again with some of that clearing in place, dropping us into those lower 20s and teens. Dry Friday, high of 35 degrees. Mild weekend, bringing us some scattered showers into Sunday, and then we'll watch for some cooler weather into next week.
More layoffs at Amazon. JetBlue spends millions on improving its systems, and another company mascot gets a makeover. CJ Papa has that and more in today's Business Briefs.
Amazon has notified more than 3,000 employees in New York, California, and Washington that their jobs are being eliminated as part of a second big wave of the company's layoffs. Amazon Chief Executive Andy Jassy revealed earlier this month that the company is slashing 18,000 employees around the world. Meanwhile, Amazon workers in the United Kingdom are on strike for the first time. The walkout is at a warehouse in central England. The protest is over pay. JetBlue says it has spent millions on improving its systems, and in mid-January had the lowest rate of delayed flights on any major U.S. airline. In recent years, it was among the worst performers among major U.S. airlines. JetBlue says it had the lowest cancellation rate of any major airline except American Airlines during the Christmas storms. And A&W is changing its mascot for the first time since 1963. Rudy, the Great Root Bear, will now be wearing denim jeans, according to this tweet shared by the company, saying in part, "Now we get it. Even a mascot's lack of pants can be polarizing." The change comes after Mars announced its M&M spokes candies were taking an indefinite pause. The company has been under heat for modifying its branding to what some call woke versions of the M&Ms. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
Fentanyl deaths are now rising faster among children than any other age group. The number's alarming. Brian Linas takes a look.
And that's her heartbeat that they recorded before she passed.
Serenity Murfin was just 17 months old when she died after her grandmother says the toddler put tinfoil laced with fentanyl in her mouth.
There were paramedics already working to get her to breathe. And my grandson was standing there screaming, "Nana, Nana, Nana." My heart just dropped as I watched them work on my granddaughter.
A shocking new study from the nonprofit Families Against Fentanyl shows child fentanyl deaths are rising faster than any other age group. Deaths among children age 14 and under are 15 times higher than they were in 2015, rising from 10 to 153 deaths. In just the last 2 years, fentanyl deaths quadrupled among infants and children ages 5 to 14.
He was one of the most genuine and loving people I've ever known in my life.
13-year-old Luca Manuel died from fentanyl poisoning in 2020 after he purchased counterfeit Percocet from a dealer on Snapchat. Now, both Luca and Serenity's families are sharing their pain to save lives.
This can absolutely happen to anyone. Please be open and honest with your children about drug use.
Our children are our future, and if we don't do something, who's going to?
Families Against Fentanyl is calling for President Biden to establish a White House task force dedicated to the fentanyl crisis and to designate the synthetic opioid a weapon of mass destruction. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Up next, a potential breakthrough for stroke recovery as the FDA approves an exoskeleton. Then we head to a marine mammal center. Stay with us. Strokes impact hundreds of thousands of Americans every year and can cause decreases in mobility and bodily functions. Now the FDA has cleared a high-tech exoskeleton device, which they hope will help stroke survivors during their rehabilitation process. Lauren Blanchard takes a closer look.
A self-balancing exoskeleton suit could provide relief for stroke victims. The Food and Drug Administration has cleared the device from French-based company Wandercraft for use in stroke rehabilitation. According to data from the CDC, someone in the U.S. has a stroke every 40 seconds, with nearly 800,000 people nationwide experiencing a stroke every year. Strokes are also a leading cause of critical long-term disabilities, including a reduction in mobility. Officials behind the exoskeleton say their technology can help people struggling to walk or stand regain their freedom. Additionally, the device lets users move in multiple directions, hands-free.
Wheelchairs are an anomaly. Men, women, human beings are meant to be upright. That's really important for them, for their health, for their well-being. Right now, I'm looking at you at eye level, and that's because we're standing. That's the first thing to give back to people.
While federal officials in the U.S. cleared it for stroke rehab overseas, the device has already been helping people who lost their mobility from a wide range of other incidents.
I had a motorbike accident that broke my spine and made me paraplegic.
So far, the exoskeleton has been sold to hospitals in the U.S., France, and Luxembourg. It costs around $220,000. Engineers at Wandercraft are striving to make their exoskeleton lighter so it can be sold in the future to the general public for everyday use. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
This week, members of NOAA, along with researchers, visited California's Marine Mammal Center in hopes of securing funding for several critical programs. The programs are critical to the survival and understanding of sea life, but there's concern their activities could be hampered. Tom Vacker reports.
The administrator of NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and some staff members visited the Marine Mammal Center in the Marin Headlands. They came to see the operation, an important step in securing funding for several critical programs that could be defunded by the new Congress.
I think Congress is going to ask us some questions about value, priorities, and that's completely appropriate, and we've got some good answers for them.
Center CEO Cecily Majuris says part of the federal funds go to support a network of marine mammal rescue groups along the entire U.S. West Coast and Hawaii, bringing in sick or disabled seals, sea lions, sea otters, and their pups.
They pick the animals up and they bring them to our hospital. They're sort of the ambulance system to bring them in and protect them here and give them the care they need so they can go back.
Dolphin sickness and whale entanglements are handled in the field. For those who do not survive, NOAA funds serious research of the dead animals, finding cancer now in one of 4 sea lions.
We're finding cancer in California sea lions. We see toxicities in these animals. We see infectious diseases.
Some of this research assists human researchers and doctors to find human solutions.
Since the Marine Mammal Protection Act was passed 50 years ago, we have not lost a single marine mammal species in U.S. waters.
In fact, some species, including endangered ones, are increasing in population.
This is their ocean. This is where we want to make it better so we can all thrive, both the mammals that live in the ocean and those of us who use the ocean.
To make sure that we are leaving a healthier planet than we inherited.
This is being done at a cost of 6 cents per U.S. taxpayer per day.
For millennia, sea animals have survived weather, predators, famine, and natural disease. But without private organizations such as the Marine Mammal Center and NOAA having the force of law, they might not survive human pollution and environmental destruction. Tom Vakar, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
We'll be back after this. We want to leave you with a smile. The brothers at the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi in Italy went out to play in the snow Monday. Brother Rafael Normando telling the brothers, quote, "Sister Snow has arrived and she's perfect for snowballs." The brothers had a snowball fight and also, of course, made snow angels. Heavy snowfall hit the area over the weekend, creating beautiful landscapes. But as snow does, it also caused inconveniences to residents with blocked roads and closed schools. That does it for us. I'm Jamie Holmes. Thanks for watching.